Hello YouTube and welcome to TNC Garage. My name's Tom and today we're going to be taking a look at a electric window fault with a 2007 Fiat Grande Punto. The particular fault with this car is you press the window switch and it goes down in like kind of stages, like sometimes not at all, which is incredibly inconvenient if you're in a car park or if you're trying to go for a drive-through. So I'll attach a video now of the fault in hand. So this is the issue it's having at the moment. As you can see, if I push the button down, there's one little movement, press it again, little movement, little. It seems to come down a little bit. Which is crazy, when you hold it up, perfect way. So I think it's a dodgy switch. Right, so now you've seen the fault there. I believe this fault is due to the actual switch itself. I don't believe the switch is faulty. I believe it's either got a bad connection or possibly a dirty connection. Reason being, obviously it goes down silky smooth. It goes up silky smooth, but struggles going downwards. So I think it's just possibly a dirty connection or a loose connection on the switch. So we're going to take it apart, have a look and see what we can find. Now, on this car it's incredibly simple. All you need is a small flathead screwdriver. A big one won't hurt, to be honest, but this is the size one I'm going to use here today, and I'm going to show you how to take out this switch and take it apart. So if you come over here, right, you can see over here, this is the switch assembly. Starts here all the way around here. Now the easiest way I've found to take it out is just if you get the screwdriver and put it in there and just push against it, it literally opens up the gap right there and then. And from there you can just literally pry it up and the whole thing just literally lifts out like this. So if you bring the camera around here, you can see you've got this big plug here. Usually there's a little tab just on the bottom here where you push in and pull the plug out. On this particular car that's missing, so I'll pull that out quickly. And then if you bring the camera back round, on this plug over here, this one, you need to push in. See this little tab here on the back of this bit? Push that in and pull that bit down at the same time. So like that. As you push it down, the plug will come out and will just release like that, and that's your switch assembly out of the car. Now the bit we're going to be concentrating on is this piece here, which is the main the switch control for the electric windows. So we can see our pins in here have a little markings on them, but are relatively clean for the most part. So what we're going to do now is take this little cover here and we're going to pop it off. So as you can see, just, again with a screwdriver, just be very gentle as you're doing it because these are only plastic. So you put that in there, just work it around, get it on nice. There you go. So see that's popped there now, and I can pop the front bit. So that's that side loose. And just try not to be too aggressive with it because obviously you have got fragile metal components in there. So there you go, just pop that round like that, and just pop, to make sure you're not putting it too hard on either side, and that should just pop out like that. So we'll pop the back cover off that switch, and this is the switch unit here, and I think I've possibly found the problem immediately. This one is supposed to be there, and it's ended up there. And it kind of sits here, and if you look, these contacts look very burnt out and not in very good shape / order. And having a look, I can't see any excessive damage on any of the capacitors as such. It looks to be okay, it just looks very burnt out and crispy. The same with the actual contact points themselves. If you look at this one here, which I think is the one for the drive switches blown up, you can see where the contact is supposed to make contact there. It's incredibly dirty. Not going to have been making very good contact if I compare it to one of the other ones. So for example, this one, you see it's not great still, but it is making somewhat contact on that little bit just up the top there. And it's the same story again when you look on the actual board. You can see again on this side, particularly that contact there and that contact there, pretty horrendous. And I think that's what's stopping it making good contact. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this all off, clean it all up properly, and clean up these little contact pins properly, and see how and see if that fixes my issue, and I'll report back. Right, sit rep. I've taken it all apart and cleaned all the contact points using a small screwdriver and a toothbrush and a bit of like cleaning solution alcohol, like contact cleaner, and I've also done the contact pins which sit in the middle here. As you can see, they are shining, no more muck and dirt on them, so they should make perfect contact, and the window switch should work without fault, he says. As you can see, we're all clean now, so what I've got to do is reassemble all these back into here, pop the cover back on, and then we can test it, see if it works. Right, so with the component board all cleaned up there, and with the contacts all cleaned, I'm going to show you now how to put this switch assembly back together. It's relatively easy. So you can see here, you have these little rockers. What you need is a bit of points down in the middle to go sit in the middle of these areas here. So what you want to do is put them like that, back there, together, assembly there, and then just bring the rockers, these are the rockers here, and just try and line them up as best you can do. Hasn't got to be 100%, somewhere close will be fine. And then line up your tabs on the side here, and just give it a push, and it will find its own way back in there. And now that's your switch assembly back together. So now we can fit it back to the car. So if we come over here, so remember this blue plug I showed you earlier? The way to do this is you've got a little locating tab here. That needs to line up with this little groove here. So this little tab here needs to line up with that indent there. So if you just push it into it, and then just push this little lever down, it will click itself into place. And for this one, you just take that piece there, look where the smaller pins are, line it up on the back, just give it a push. If the locking tab's there, it will just click into place. Obviously on this car, that one was missing, so just give that a good push into it. It might be a little bit tight. There you go. So that's nicely in there now. So without that, without pushing it back in, you just want to give it a little test. So you switch on your ignition and just test. As you can see, the window now operates up and down perfectly. Right, so with the window switch now repaired, we can put it back together, which is literally just as simple as lining it up approximately where it should be, like that, and just give it a push at the top there, slide it down, push it back bit, and that is job done. So what can I conclude from this video? So it was a bit of a peculiar fault. How all that it's like a sooty, carbony, black, dusty material had ended up inside the switch there, kind of like as if it had a fire at some point. I don't know if this car has had a fire at some point, I assume not, but for whatever reason the switch was full of rubbish and muck, which was preventing the preventing the window from going down as it should do, and making the switch bad. You could argue you could just replace the switch, but in my opinion the switch isn't actually faulty, it's just dirty, so there's no point in replacing something that's perfectly working. So yeah, I hope this helps. Comment, rate and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.